Hello, my name is John Nance, and I'm going to spend the next few minutes building my case for why you should be more deliberate in how you discuss your favorite subject, yourself. The way we talk about ourselves can be a subtle, yet real nudge in our self-perception. Nudges add up over the years. Taking control over one nudge is intriguing, but taking control over which nudges you allow into your life can be powerful. It has been in my life. The short version is this. I want you to be aware of and be deliberate about the permanent pronouncements you make about yourself, those things that you incorporate into your identity and end up affecting your behavior. I want you to use language to launch, not limit yourself. What do I mean by permanent pronouncements? Well, these are a few I used to make about myself. I'm not a heights guy. I'm bad with names. I'm not a details person. While they may be accurate assessments at the time, notice how they're permanent statements about my nature and don't allow for the possibility of growth. When I stopped framing myself in these terms, growth and change became a possibility. I'm a graduate student studying learning sciences and human development, and everything I'll talk to you today is well-grounded in psychological theory, but I most often share this information as a father, friend, uncle, or coach. And I feel the need to insert a disclaimer here. There are many people that suffer with clinically significant phobias and disorders, and that's not what I'm talking about, and I would never want to minimize those. There are plenty of things that require the intervention of mental health professionals. What I'm talking about today won't replace any of that, but it could supplement it. And really, if we're honest, most of the stuff we say about ourselves most of the time is neither intentional nor clinically significant. So let me build a case for why this matters. Consistency is a monster. Social psychologist Robert Cialdini, the man who literally wrote the book on influence, calls consistency our nearly obsessive desire to be and to appear consistent. When we say things about ourselves, we self-trigger this consistency need in ourselves, and our behavior begins to subtly align with the things we say about ourselves. Consistency can work against you, but can also be leveraged in a powerful way on the positive side. Just by saying, I'm good at names, you'll start to incorporate that into your identity. Through confirmation bias, you're going to start to notice all those times, everybody has at least some, when you remember someone's name. You'll build a sense of self-efficacy around it, and then gradually it will become part of your self-image that you're good with names. Now, I'm good at works best with those kind of subjective soft skills and traits that we'd like to develop in ourselves. Works less well for hard skills and attributes. For instance, you wouldn't want to say, I'm good at civil engineering, or I rock at fixing helicopter engines, or in my case, I'd be the perfect model for a shampoo commercial as an aspirational statement. But for those soft skills that you want to develop in yourself, I'm good at is perfect. Social and developmental psychologist Carol Dweck has done prolific and powerful research around the idea of mindset. And she defines growth mindset as the belief that most, if not all, of our characteristics are not fixed in stone, but can be changed with time and effort. Dr. Dweck likes to emphasize the use of the word yet to foreshadow growth to come in an area that we're putting in the effort. To that vernacular, if I may be so bold, I would like to add the phrase accustomed to, as in I'm not accustomed to heights. This leaves room for a realistic assessment of your skills and inclinations, but it allows for the possibility of growth. It also allows that you may not want to put effort in an area. Not everybody deems every area in every domain worthy of effort. That's fine. But it allows for the possibility of growth. It can be used on the positive side, as in I've spent a lot of time at height and I've grown quite accustomed to it. When you use accustomed to in this positive sense, there's a pro-social aspect to it in that it's going to foster a growth mindset in those around you. It'll take the emphasis off your natural talents and abilities and focus on the work you've done to get to wherever you are. So let me give you a personal story of how this has played out in my own life. For years, I pronounced myself afraid of heights or not a heights guy. Okay? And this was not a clinically significant phobia. This was actually in spite of a lot of evidence to the contrary. In my 20 years that I spent as a professional soldier, I had leaned out the side of flying airplanes, I'd climbed a bunch of non-OSHA-approved obstacles, and I jumped out of perfectly good aircraft 50 times. So I was clearly capable of functioning at height, but it was just part of my identity that I was not a heights guy. Then I spent a summer with kiddos at a local water park. And the farther along the summer went, and the more times I climbed the stairs to the big scary slides, I noticed that the less heebie-jeebies / butterflies I'd get when I'd look over the edge of the railing down below. Introspecting in line one day, I eventually came to the realization that I had become accustomed to heights. When I realized this and then changed the way I framed the way I talked about myself, possibilities opened up. And these possibilities manifested itself in the form of a summer job. I spent a summer working at a local camp as a high ropes facilitator. I was helping people work through treetop height obstacles, rope courses, and zip lines. It was an incredibly rewarding job that I would have self-selected out of if I had still pronounced myself not a heights guy. For you and those you care about, whatever the domain, I want you to be deliberate in your permanent pronouncements. I want you to use language to launch, not limit your growth. It's a no-cost, no-calorie, no side-effect way of thinking and speaking that will improve your life. I've become accustomed to it, and it has improved mine. I'm honored by your time and attention. I want you to go forth and nudge yourself into being an even better you. Thank you.